The first of these worksheets, which is based upon the for operation, has 9 different tabs and contains 9 of the 29 tabs which are included in this resource. The first of these different spreadsheets is based on the for operations, which you'll see in a minute, and this resource contains 25 different tabs spread over 4 different Excel documents. The first document is to do with the for operations and contains 9 of these 25 tabs. The first tab is a blank tab, which is great for printing out and giving to students so they can just copy off the board. So you can have copious amounts of these sheets in your reserve, and then they're easy to use for whatever questions you want to. So to print, you just select the given area, you click File, Print, and if you want 2 to a page, that's absolutely fine. Alternatively, you can have 4 to a page, so you could select all 4 of them. Change your settings to landscape, which is already done so, and then I would change to fit on 1 page. And then we also need to change the setting here to print selection. There we go, 4 worksheets on 1 sheet of A4. The first sheet is a function machine, and they're all based on function machines. The red grid inside is based on the input of a function machine, and the green grids are based upon an output of a function machine. So you have to start with number 10, you apply the operation multiply by 5, then add 5, then you place a corresponding value top left. You do the same process for 11, then you place the corresponding value in middle left, etc., until all the values are filled out. So this is the easy worksheet because the numbers are just in the input. The hard worksheet involves numbers in just the output, but you still have to find the numbers in the input and the remaining numbers in the output. And the solutions is really useful because it's a solution to both the easy and the hard worksheet, so you can differentiate easily within a class. What you can see is that we've got an infinite number of different worksheets, with the answers on the left of the output grids being positives and the numbers on the right being negative. Going on to the final sheets, we can see that to get a new worksheet you can click this button. Alternatively, you can press any button such as F9 to obtain a new worksheet. The latter 4 sheets are very similar, however this time we also have the symbol divide involved. This is because all the input numbers are divisible by 2, therefore yielding a whole number as the output. Moving on to the next spreadsheet, we're going to have a look at next percentages. Percentages is got 4 of the tabs. The first tab involves rounding as well as percentages, because we have 78 and we need to find this, and we need to find 17% of 78, which is 13. Again, in the harder worksheet we have numbers just on the outside rather than the inside. And then if you go on to the yellow tabs, these are more straightforward percentages, and you're required to find whole numbers without rounding, because all of these numbers are divisible by 10. Therefore it's easier to find 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80%. If you then press any button such as F9, we can get a new worksheet. For example, if we click F9 here, once we've clicked enable editing, this gives us loads of worksheets, and you can see each time the required input changes. The third spreadsheet then is going to be fractions. We have fractions for the yellow tabs being easier in the sense that the denominator is 5 and 10, whereas fractions for the first 3 tabs is going to be 3 and 6. So we have a variety of different fractions which are proper, improper, and some of them perhaps require simplification. For example, it sometimes asks you to find 2/6, so this is a great discussion point to talk to students that this is exactly the same as finding 1/3, and in this case they can work out this connection automatically. Again, we have the solutions. At the click of any button, such as F9, we can get a whole brand new worksheet. In a similar manner, we have improper and proper fractions, but we have the denominators being 5 and 10 because the input numbers this time are divisible by 5 and 10. Hard worksheet and solutions. Last but not least, we have the standard form tab. This gives numbers in the middle. The numbers on the left are 3 or 2 digits. The numbers in the middle have 1 or 2 decimal places. And then the numbers on the right are either 3 or 4 digits. And then you can see that the required number we need to multiply is 10 to the power of something. It sometimes is a positive power and it sometimes is a negative power. Again, this is instead of writing it from an ordinary number to standard and then applying So the first worksheet, the easy worksheet, requires you to write a number which may or may not be bigger than 0, multiplied by 10 to the power of something which is either negative or positive, and write the answer as an ordinary number. Whereas the hard worksheet gives you the ordinary numbers and requires you to write the numbers in an alternative manner. Finally, the solutions are listed here. And for a new worksheet, you either press this tab or you can press any button such as F9. So to obtain any of these 29 different tabs over 4 different worksheets, please have a think about purchasing this resource.